Well, hello everybody. Matt over at SFREP in North Carolina. I'm so glad that you could join us this afternoon, and we are going to go ahead and get started. Now, this is different from what our usual webinars in that I'm not going to be giving most of the webinar. We have Sue Bergeron who is going to be giving most of that. And Sue, how are you today?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I'm doing awesome. You're out in Utah. How is the
Yep,
weather out there?
it's a sunny, brisk, probably 40-degree
That's
day.
about what it's about what it is here. It's earlier it was just nasty rain. I mean, we get way more rain than you do here. But yeah, it's about like that here. So hopefully everybody else's weather is at least a little bit better. But I think it is, yeah, it's the sun's come out just a little bit behind me there. So for those of you who are not familiar with DataMaster, and I know most of you probably are, these guys are awesome folks. I do all of for SFREP. I go to all of our conventions in Las Vegas and Charleston and Chicago. I've met these guys a number of times. They've always been super helpful. They're good friends. We always help each other out with booths and stuff. And they have an amazing product that they've now developed to work with Appraise-It Pro, and Sue is going to be showing that. If you don't know what DataMaster is, she'll give you the details, but essentially it's a really easy way to gain access to all the data that is stored and locked up in your MLS and in public records data. A lot of times that information can be really hard to get into your appraisal report. So instead of having to copy and paste and go back and forth and have multiple browser windows open, DataMaster will allow you to have one interface to grab all that information and then put it into your appraisal report. And it's a great value. It really is. So Sue, what I'm going to do is I am going to take my ugly mug off the screen there, and then I'm going to make you the presenter. And if you can go ahead and show everybody all about DataMaster.
All right. Can you see my screen there, peeps?
Yep, looks good.
Okay. All right. So what we would do to start is you would get a report ready in Appraise-It Pro. I'm going to have this one blank, but I do have a file number up here. And so I would pick the correct form that I want to use. This one's a 1004. And so you can see here it's all blank. Okay. And then I would go back to my DataMaster and start here. And we're going to create a work file over here. We've chosen Appraise-It Pro as our form software. We've chosen the form to be a 1004 UAD form. And then we would name it something. And then we would go ahead and click up here on our subject. Sorry. So we would go up here and get our subject information. So we can search for subject information using an address. We can use an APN number, or we can use an MLS number. All right. And so we would click our search, and there's our data for our subject. Okay. So you can see how it's filled in about the first 5 lines here. You can also see, and so this looks more like your report. So it's filling in. This is about the first top part. Here's some information here in the site area, and then here's some information in your improvements. Okay. Then we would, to get our comparables, we would go into the MLS. I've chosen Netris as my MLS, and I've done a search. I can show you that. So we've done some criteria here, picked out some things, and then we go to our results, and to get our comparables, we'll just choose about 6 of them, okay? And excuse me for my being random, but I'm not an appraiser, but this is how we would do it. You would come in here obviously and be very picky and not picky, but you would make sure that it was concurrent with your subject property. And then you would click this little export button down here, and then DataMaster would put the data into this grid here. So you can see how it looks like a grid. It looks like your grid in your report. And we can customize things here. We can make things look the way you want them to look. So let's show you some of the features here. If you wanted to make sure that this was neutral residential, you can click here on this map and you get to see a Bing aerial view and a Google Street Map, which allows you to move around and look and see all of the things to make sure this is in a residential neighborhood and that there's no adverse or beneficial factors to it. Okay, if it was different, you wanted to change it, you can change it right here in DataMaster. And then those things, let's just say it's a busy road. And so then we click save and you'll notice that right there it's changed it. Okay, this means that you don't have to go into another screen and look for, a Bing aerial view and a Google Street Map. All right, on your quality of construction and your condition lines, we can set up a default, but we also have this very cool way of being able to see all of the MLS photos over here. And if you want to see one up close, maybe you want to see the kitchen. Maybe you want to scroll down in here and let's look at the bathroom and see if it's been upgraded. And then you can make a determination as to maybe this is a Q4 and a C3. And you'll notice that over here to the right, it's giving you the Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac's definition of a Q4 and a definition of a C3, so that you can see that while you're doing this. When you click save, you'll notice that it puts this right into the grid, being ready for us to send it into the report. Okay, you can also access the deeds to see the priors and the mortgages. Anytime that there's a mortgage, you can see the amounts here. Texas is a non-disclosure state as far as the price of the home, what it sells for. So it doesn't put anything in here, but we've put that in here. We've checked the boxes, this being the prior. See, we can undo it and check it and it'll put it in there. But you get to see each one of these as you go along. You can look at each one of them's deeds individually. And then you can see the listing history as well for these properties. If you wanted to, like, wow, why is this, why does this say all of this stuff here? Why doesn't it have something? You can look in the MLS sheet to see what those things are. When I'm doing a training, if I see something like that's missing, then I come in here and I look to see, what does it say about the cooling? What does it say about the heating? Is it the MLS or the real estate agent that's not put it in here? So then you can kind of come in here and look at things. You can also type in this DataMaster if you just wanted to say FWA and you want to do that. Now that will transfer over into your report. Maybe you don't want all of this in here. Maybe you don't want the wall window in here, because this is pulling exactly whatever the MLS says. So you can come in here and take these things out. And then when you send it to the report, that's what will go in, okay? We have a little yellow box up here that shows us when there's a discrepancy between the MLS and public records. You and I both know that the MLS and public records don't always match, but DataMaster allows you to be able to look at those discrepancies. And where it's green, that means that's where we're pulling the data from, is MLS on those three. On the public records, we're pulling it from here. The difference here is dashes in the APN number versus no dashes. Okay, and once we've looked at it, if we didn't want to change anything, because you can change it and it would pick up the other one, but if we don't want to change anything, we click save, and you'll notice that the little yellow circle has now turned green, and that's telling you that you've looked at it and you're okay with it. So you've verified those discrepancies, and you can do that for each one of these. Another little feature is down here at the bottom. Maybe today isn't the effective date of the report. So you can come in here and you can say, oh, I inspected that property on Thursday. And when you click that, it'll put everything down here to say that date. And then when we bring the public or the market conditions in, it's going to reflect the 11th versus today's date. Okay, so that would be the next thing we would do, is come back to the MLS, and we would instead, we know that we've went back, our criteria says we've went back 365 days. We're picking our actives and our solds. You would do different things than what I would do. I'm not an appraiser, but I've worked here for over 10 years, and so this is okay to do for this. So now we're going to choose all of these. Okay, so we've picked all 88 of these, and we're going to use them for our market conditions. So then we would click this export button, and DataMaster would churn and burn and bring in this data here. Now, you'll notice here, this is talking about the neighborhood that's back on page 1. So this is the 1 unit housing price and age. If you don't use the market conditions data, we can go back and do another search, broaden it, our criteria, and pick just the neighborhood to bring in this data. But for today, I'm just using what I used for this market conditions. So then when you come back to the subject over here, you can see how it's filled this in. We're not going to check these boxes. We're not going to check these boxes, and we're not going to fill in this present land use. But if you have data in here and here and here, maybe you already have these boxes checked. The rule of thumb is with DataMaster is that if it's blank in DataMaster and you have data in your report, DataMaster does not overwrite that data. Okay, so we'll come back here, and I'm sorry if I'm going real fast. So you get to see this 1 unit housing here. You get to see what goes in at the top of your page 2, giving you how many properties were currently listed. Here's the price range. How many properties sold within the past year? And here's the price range. Okay, you can see here we filled in the grid, and we don't set these trends. That's up to you to do. But you also see that we filled in 3 of these boxes down here on comments. Every time the data changes, these comments change. So this is telling us that Netris indicates there were 86 closed sales during the past 12 months, and 35 of them had concessions. That's 41%. Then it breaks it down into the 3 time periods, telling us how many sales, how many with concessions, and the percentage. At the bottom here, it shows us the concession range and the median concession amount. And again, every time the data changes, every time we do a new report, these comments change accordingly. If there were any REO or short sales, it would come up saying the same thing. Netris indicates there were 86 closed sales during the past 12 months, and 1 of them was an REO or a short sale. So it goes accordingly. We have a place where you can see all of these properties in here for the market conditions. It saves this. You and I both know, as an appraiser, you can go in one day and do a market condition search, and you'll come up with this data. If you were to go back tomorrow and do the exact same search, it would come up differently. So this being saved in here is kind of a, it helps this work file here that DataMaster is now saving become defendable for you, okay? We have graphs available that you can put into your report now. You can see that these are combination graphs, and we're going to include these in the report, okay? So this is talking about the competing market. We also have a summary that's full of data for those of you that are data wizards. This is the square price per square, the sale price per square foot. The red diamonds indicate your comps, your sold comparables, and you can see which comp they are by hovering over them. That's comp 3. It's telling us that that's when it sold, and that's the sale price per square foot. The blue dots are your comps, sold comps in your market conditions, and it tells you when they sold and what the sale price per square foot is. Right here, we've got the sale price, the list price, the year built, the age, the GLA, and lot size. And we've got the mean, median, mode, range, minimum, maximum. Great data for you. You can come back in here and grab it. We don't have a button in here for you to be able to put it into your report, but by golly, you can surely take a screenshot of it and paste it into any addendum or work file that you'd like to. So this is all data for you to be able to consume and use for your report, okay? All right, we're ready to get to, and then we, also for the neighborhood, you also have graphs up here that you can use for this. It doesn't say it's got any in it because we used it from the market conditions. Okay, so we're going to review and send. It's just showing us, here's our subject. We're going to include the subject, and we're going to include the subject photo. If you already have a subject photo in your report, all you do is uncheck that box, and the photo that's here in DataMaster will not go into your report. It won't overwrite it. You've got 6 properties here that's going into the report, and you've got the competing market going in with 2 graphs. Down here at the bottom, you've got your exceptions report showing us all of the deed transfers, on each property, including the subject, as well as all of the discrepancies between the MLS and public records. If you want to copy that to a clipboard, you click right here, copy it to a clipboard, and you can put it into a Word doc or any addendum that you'd like to. The other thing is know that you can come back into here at any point in time and highlight and screenshot, copy and paste any of this data into any portion of your report. We have a print functions here where we can print the deeds and the MLS sheets. We have a standard addendum as well. We're not going to play with that. That shows you, and it's not quite finished yet, so that's why I hesitate on showing you that one. But it's going to be something that goes right into, it will go right into your report and your work file at a later date. All right, we're ready to send to report. So for those of you that have used Appraise-It and DataMaster, know that when you click send to report, you have to match it up to the correct report. In this new Appraise-It, we don't have to do that anymore. So here's the blank one. And there we go. So you can see how it's filled all of this in for us. Okay, any of these things that, sorry about that. Anything in here, you could come in here and truncate. If you don't like it, have all of that data in here, you can truncate it. You can take in and out what you want to. If you knew the borrower's name, we could have put that in DataMaster and brought it over here. So you can see how it's filled everything in for you. There's that one unit housing. You can see here how it's brought some of this data in here. You can see here how there's the top of page 2, and it's brought in all of those comparables that we brought in. Trying to get to the market conditions, not quite sure where they're at. So I'm just going to keep scrolling. Nope, I'm not sure where it's at. Anyway,
you have to, yours isn't showing the panel, the report panel on the left.
Over here on this side, right?
Yeah, so if you go to view and then select reset the default.
There we go. Now we can find it, right?
Mm-hmm. What were you looking for again?
Market conditions.
Yeah, it should be
right there.
There it is.
Right there. There we go. So now you can see how it's filled this in for us. Okay. All right. So that's how this works. So if you're interested in having a one-on-one short demo, 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes with one of our account executives, we can show you how to use DataMaster. And then they would set up an appointment if you decide that you want to go ahead and go forward. We do have specials that we offer on trainings for our pricing. But DataMaster works well with Appraise-It Pro. It works well with Appraise-It as well. The other thing, let me show you here. The other thing it does is when you close this file, it's now going to save it down here. And then if we wanted to come back in here and open it right back up, we would just click right here and it opens it right back up to where we were. If we wanted to go in and look at something here or change something, maybe we wanted to add a property, which we could go right here and type in an MLS number and bring another property in, okay? So when we come back here and we close the file, you also have DataMaster stored in your computer in your documents in a folder called DataMaster, and so they're all in here. All of your files are loaded here, and again, you can access them from right here, and it would open it back up in your DataMaster. So you have it in 2 spots. If you wanted to take it and you wanted to change where it saves, you could save it into your own work file, or when you click here and you find it, you can take and move it into anything that you have. Maybe you have a special place where you save your files. And that's DataMaster and Appraise-It Pro in a nutshell.
Awesome, Sue. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So let's see if you guys have any questions. Once again, there is a small chat bubble icon. If you click on that, that'll get you to the questions or to the chat, and that way you can ask your questions. And of course, if you're watching this after the fact, feel free to contact me directly. You can go ahead and send an email to training@sfrep.com. Of course, you can feel free to contact DataMaster. Now, DataMaster, they have built this integration themselves, and they actually, you would purchase the product through them directly. So all you need to do is go to DataMasterUSA, all one word.com, or you can call them.
You could call me if you want to, and I can put it to the person that needs to, set something up for you. My direct line is 1-801 at 6628 5. Oh yeah, here we go. I can't remember it now. No, that's my cell phone number. I don't know. Anyway, the Bo's phone number, we can give you Bo's. No, let's just give you customer support. 801-657-5769.
That was the number I was going to give out. Yeah.
Yep, and customer support would be happy to get you to the correct territory person and a person to get you trained and set up and show you everything, all the ins and outs. Remember, DataMaster is customizable, so we can take a PDF of your finished page 2 or your sales comp grid and change things to look the way you want them to look, so that you're not having to do a lot of changing from the way that it comes in. So we look forward to hearing from some of you.
Yeah, so once again, that's datamasterusa.com, or you can call them directly. It's area code 801-657-5769. So, Sue, we do have a couple of questions that have come in. The first one is from Pat. And she wants to know if you guys had set up DataMaster to work with our non-lender forms.
Non-lender forms.
So our non-lender forms would be, if you want to go back to Appraise-It, and this might be something that she'll need to contact you guys directly.
Yes.
I would assume not. I would assume you've set that up, but our non-lender forms are just like the regular forms. It's just we've removed some verbiage.
Okay.
Is specific to.
Yeah, we can. If she would like to call in and ask a question to someone, we can absolutely look that up for her.
I'm pretty sure they have, though, Pat. She also said that she used DataMaster a couple years ago. All of the extraction had to be set up for her set up by her for the ERC form. She was wanting to know if you guys have support for the ERC form as well. I guess.
Yes, each territory or wherever she's located, we have customer success managers that help out with that. They help out with the customizations and making sure that that's all set up and do your training for you. And we are your go-to person with any questions. And if it becomes too difficult and above our pay grade, then we put you over to our fabulous customer support team.
Okay. Harold asks, is it possible to have oh, okay. He misspelled a word there and I was tripped up by what he was trying to say. Is it possible to have a demo to work with it for a short period so they can try it out?
Yeah, it's a month-to-month subscription. So you're not locked into any kind of a long-term contract. So if you go through our little, 10-15 minute demo, the AE or the account executive then sets you up on an account for a discounted price for the first month. And then if you find that after that first month that you don't like it, you're more than, you can go ahead and cancel your subscription. We don't lock you into anything long term.
Yeah, it's the same way we do it. That's really the best way to do business. You don't lock people into your product, and the product sells itself.
Exactly. And that way you get used to it, in a month's period of time, and you absolutely fall in love with it. We have people that when we have a change happen, and they might be down for a day, they're like, I can't do a regular report now. We love your product. And so it does help people save quite a bit of time.
Let's see. Ronald asked, does DataMaster save the MLS photos for each comp? Will it save the MLS page and the realist page?
Yes, it does. As long as you have DataMaster and you have the computer that you're using it on, it will save it. So you could go back into a report and you could see those MLS photos. If we get them today, you'd be able to see them today, next week, next month, next year. And it saves all of those market conditions. It saves all those properties that you've chosen for the market conditions as well, and the MLS sheets as well.
Awesome. Let's see. Kevin asked, is this DataMaster Pro? It doesn't look like what I use. I've used DataMaster for years. Does the old DataMaster work with Appraise-It Pro yet?
I'm not sure. I think that we've got it working with the Appraise-It Pro. More than likely, he's using our classic product, and depends on which area he's in as to if it is available in the Pro product as far as DataMaster goes. We haven't moved all of our products. We've tried to do them one area at a time so that it was manageable, instead of just putting it all out there and then we were scrambling to help people to get onto it. So the other thing is that we're seeing that there are MLSs that are moving to different integrations, and so then we are moving directly to these different, how they're bringing their data in, and then we move it to this Pro product. But if Kevin has any questions, have him give us a call.
Absolutely. And Johnny asks, does it cost the same for both Appraise-It versions? So he's wanting to know if DataMaster, if he's using Appraise-It Classic, is DataMaster the same price for Classic as it is for Pro?
Yes.
Okay.
You get more bells and whistles with the Pro product, but yeah, same price.
That's what we tell them. Yeah, you get more bells and whistles with ours too.
Yeah. But we didn't raise the price, so that's a good thing, right?
Yeah, exactly. Same price for us too. Angela wanted to write the customer support number in chat. I have gone ahead and done that, but if you want to get a pen and paper, everybody, once again, it's area code 801-657-5769, and that'll get you to the sales. I would assume to the sales department and to the customer.
Well, I think once they call that, they can go to the sales line, and then it would move through the account executives.
There you go. Our salespeople will be happy to give you a little bit of information about DataMaster, but just keep in mind, if you are an SFREP customer, you'll need to contact DataMaster and you'll purchase DataMaster through them, not through us. So our sales ladies will just basically, and I say ladies because they all are ladies, they will push you, or they will give you the number and they'll send you over to DataMaster. Dale said, if you want to show kitchen and parking features for the comps, can DataMaster go back to the MLS Bright system to retrieve this data and put it in the photo addendum?
So let me see if let me see if we can do this. Let's look at it, because I'm not sure. So the photo, so this is this little addendum that we were talking about. So in here, you're going to be able to make comments and whatnot. So I'm not sure. So you can make comments in all sorts of things. So if on here, let's say you went to the photos and you wanted to make a comment about the kitchen. So you could come in here, and I think you can pick out your photos here, but you could say the kitchen, I think you can type in there. No, maybe not. See, oh, there we go. The kitchen hasn't been remodeled recently. Blah, blah, blah. All right, like we're going to, yeah. So when we save it and then we look at this now, actually, that's the wrong thing I wanted to do. When we look at it, all right. Which one did we do it on? Did we do it on comp 2? I think so. Yep. So see, then it's here. When we get to this review and send, when you do that, you can save it to a PDF and move it into here. But anything that you've made a comment on any of this will be in here, and that will move into your report, and then it will tell you, you know, it's kind of like you explaining why did you call it neutral res? Why did you call it a Q4 and a SC3? Why, you know, there you can make comments in all of these things. Another cool feature is that you can pick right here, you can see the data sources. So you can see the MLS and public records here are correct. But let's say that you inspected this property last year and you know that it's only 1125. So you could do that and say, I inspected this property as a subject last year, 2020, okay? And then when you save it, so now when we look at the little bubble, we should have something. Was that the one I did? I don't remember which one I did, I'm sorry. But you would have comments in here as to why. It would show you, okay? So we try to make it so that it's a very a great tool to be able to make those comments and see those things.
And Ronald asked how much it costs now. You may want to defer that to the sales department, but what one question he did have, which I think is an important question, is can his assistant use it for the same price?
So we have assistant licenses now, and they are $20 a month for unlimited use for your assistant. You would have your own account, but we do have assistant and trainee accounts now set up for $20 a month. The trainees, we get them, I think we give them 6 months, and then they go to the full price. So yeah, call and talk to us about it.
Awesome. So once again, everybody, the number for DataMaster is area code 801. They're in Utah, 801-657-5769. Sue, I want to thank you so much for your time and for coming and showing everybody your awesome product.
You're welcome.
Hopefully, a lot of these awesome customers that we have are going to come over and become awesome customers of yours as well.
That would be great. Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks everybody, and I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of your week and a wonderful weekend coming up. And once again, if you have any questions, of course, you can call DataMaster directly, or you can also get in touch with me, and I will get you in touch with the right people. You can just, if after the fact you come up with a question, it's simply training@sfrep.com. Thanks a lot, everybody, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you.